Auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Can we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports. Keep it here to Sacktown Sports for the Sacramento Kings push toward the postseason.
Get analysis from our local shows, breakdowns from our Kings insiders, and all the thrilling moments from the G-Man.
Keegan Murray scrambles to save it. He gives it now to Barnes. 1 on the clock. Desperate 3 on the way. He scores the triple. Game tied at 121 apiece. 17 for Barnes.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. It's time for game night, getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket.
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
Hey, this is us. Welcome in. Game night is here. Jason Ross with you. Scott Marsh traveling with UC Davis basketball for the final week of the college basketball regular season. Aggies got a couple of big games today and then Saturday, trying to secure a 2 seed if all possible in the Big West. But we're here at Golden One Center. Jason Ross, the high flyer Henry Turner will join me here in just a moment. This is game night, and we welcome everybody here joining us because tonight the Kings are at home, and they're going to be at home finally for a while. The Kings have had a couple of stop-offs for one-game home opportunities and then right back out on the road, and they just had that recently with the disappointment of having a 22-point lead against the Chicago Bulls, ultimately to lose that on their home floor. But the response was beautiful last night, a Kings victory as they took out the Lakers after trailing by 19, built then a 22-point lead. And for the 5th time this season, the Sacramento Kings have come from behind in a game by 18 points or more. So truly impressive, and they won the season series against the Lakers. We mentioned it yesterday, kind of what the swing would be of that game, because had the Kings lost, the Lakers would have been just a half game back. But instead, the Kings won. They're now 2.5 ahead of the Lakers, which is basically 3.5 because they won the season series. And there's one more matchup, which comes up a week from yesterday. So good for Sacramento to kind of take that early stance and make their presence felt in this one. Again, this is Game Night. We're brought to you by National Garage Door. Call today for your basketball special. 916-638-4554. So Kings and Spurs tonight. Jason Ross, the high flyer, hanging out here. What's up, HT?
Jay Rizzle, what's happening, baby?
I'm feeling pretty good.
You feeling good about it?
Yeah. I couldn't hear your answer, so I heard the end of the drive, guys. And I think it was, why do you ask you? Or maybe it was Drapes. I'm not sure. You worried about tonight. And then all I heard was both of them go, oh. And I go, wait, what did Henry? I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
I said, absolutely.
Okay. I'm like, either went like, no, they're in the bag, or
No.
something that you were nervous. So you're
No.
nervous because
Absolutely.
Of what
I'm
we've seen?
nervous because of how they are. This team has been so much of a Jekyll and Hyde
Yeah.
squad that, once they get me on board, they'll go to Minnesota and they'll win, and I'll be on board. Yeah. We're there. And then we'll come back and lay an egg.
Yep.
And then we'll go out to L.A. and just destroy L.A. for 3 quarters. And I'm like, yeah, I'm there. And then they'll come back and lay an egg.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been repetitive over and over and over again. I'm like, how can you get on with them? I mean, these games scare me, Jay.
Yeah.
They do.
And I think everybody that's thinking, well, two things. You look at the record naturally. That's what you do. If you don't know much about a team, you're going to look at the Spurs and go, oh, wow, the record's not very good. That's true. And then you think, oh, Victor Wembanyama. Well, Victor's not playing. Naturally, you think, well, that's one of their best players, most important players. But sometimes, and you know this better than anyone, Henry, it's a matchup league. And
True.
I personally would rather see Wembanyama out here because I just want to see him play. But maybe there's some elements of this for the Spurs versus the Kings that favor San Antonio in a way without Victor. I don't know what that might be, but I would take case in point last night. The Lakers are a good team, pretty good team. The Kings match up really well with them. They can't handle guards. Here goes Fox and Monk, and they dominate them, just like the Kings seemingly have no answer for a team like New Orleans. There's just some matchups in this league that are more difficult than what the others.
And that's true, and that's what I'm saying. That's the part that really concerns me. I always throw this out there. I'm like, the Sacramento Kings are a good basketball team. They're not great.
Right.
Great teams find a way no matter how the matchups are.
Yeah.
Good teams struggle. They'll win some, they'll lose some. And we know that San Antonio, is sorely undermanned. But like I was telling Drapes and Whitey, I'm like, what was that? Charlotte. Charlotte came in here with Manny Moore and Jack and knocked us off. I couldn't believe that.
Right.
So that goes to show right there, Jason, that it can be done.
Yeah.
It can. If the Kings don't come out and be focused, you're playing NBA players. It can be done.
For sure. And so when we look back to last night in Los Angeles, like we said, I think we were all hurt by that Bulls game. I mean, that was a bad loss. No other way to say it. But the response, Henry, was really what you want. I know not at the very beginning, down by 19, but once they kind of got their footing, established themselves, they just ran away from the Lakers and dominated that game.
I never questioned this team's heart. That's never been questioned with me, Jason. Sometimes they come out, they get it done. Sometimes they don't. Like I said, it's just more so the inconsistent play. We watched that game against the Lakers, and for the first 10 minutes, did we see a team that we was like, yeah, yo, you guys go get them? No, we were in the doghouse again. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. But I will tell you what Malik Monk brings for this team off the bench, it can't be quantified, man. I mean, his energy, his fearlessness, it's just so infectious. Now, De'Aaron Fox started.
Yeah.
He was on the floor with that team that went down. But his whole game changed when Malik Monk came in, and Malik had that never say die attitude.
Yeah, he did. And, it's almost gotten to the point, I know for me watching this team, if they do start out slowly, I'm like, well, that's all right. Malik hasn't gone in yet. He's become that kind of guy where you go, kind of where De'Aaron is, hey, you need a bucket, go to De'Aaron. Now it's like, go to Malik. He's either going to set someone up or get one. And then if he gets going, he might get the hottest of anybody on the team.
I mean, he is that dude to where you say, in case of emergency, break glass.
Yeah, go get a bucket.
Because he could save you. I mean, if he comes in and that jump shot is on,
yeah,
that's the sign. If the jumper's wet, oh, yeah, it's going to be a long night. And he has a very unique way of playing, Jason, because he can knock down the three. He can shoot it from deep, but he has a great float game. and he can get to the rim and score with contact.
Yeah.
He can play above the rim down there with the big fellas. He can give you pretty much everything you need as a scorer.
And you look at a lot of things now. He's kind of the front runner for Sixth Man of the Year. Kings were denied an All-Star, but they may get another postseason award. And now they're just trying to get themselves in a better position in the Western Conference race that on a nightly basis, I think we got the 10. I think we know the 10. But what's going to be the order? And, probably in the last 13, 14 days, the Kings have spent time at 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think they've gone back to 9, but they've been jumping around. And last night they could have dropped to 9. So it's still really that fragile.
Right. And that's why I say that this game scares me, and especially who they're playing and who they're coached by.
That's it. He'll find the wrinkle.
The thing about it is that San Antonio teams never falter. They don't ever come out and give up.
Yeah, you have to beat them.
You have to beat San Antonio, and Pop always has his guys playing to the very last horn sound. So San Antonio is not going to come out here, and if the Kings get up 20, they say, oh, well, pack it in, we're going home. No, they're going to fight all the way through. And as we know, we've learned about our basketball team will let you back in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking back to this matchup just a couple of weeks ago in this building. It's out of the All-Star break. The Kings had their rest. We heard a couple days of practice that were productive. They were talking about improved free throws, talking about defending the three-point line better. That night, San Antonio, late in the game, Devin Vassell from the opposite angle of us hits this lean-in three, puts them up 4 with 2 minutes to go, and I'm thinking, this is going to be a bad loss to the Spurs. Now, the Kings finished 11-2 to win, but they pushed them that night, and they pushed them the first time they played.
Right, and this basketball team knows that, okay? You talk about players who look at certain teams and say, you know what? I really get off against them. Kobe White is a prime example.
Mm-hmm.
Every time Kobe White walks into this arena, he gives the Kings buckets.
Right.
Because, he has that in his mind to where, you know what, I can really score against these guys.
Yeah. 3 of his, 10, 30-point games all have come against the Sacramento Kings, which is pretty incredible for a guy like Kobe White. But if you're the Kings, we talk about those other losses, Henry, as hopefully being lessons. Like this is, I was saying right before you jumped on, they have been in a stretch where they're either on the road for a trip or gone for a while, and then they come home for 1. Now they're finally home for 6. And I think this homestand has to be productive. And I don't know what that means, if that's 4-2, 5-1, heck, 6-0, you take it. But it can't be where we leave it and you go, it's okay. And that
right.
one game, because you've said it, we're past the oopsie stage. If someone comes in here and beats you, they beat you. But you can't give any games away.
No, and you're in that stretch, and the Kings need that. Think about it. The Warriors hit that stretch to where they won 10 out of their last 14.
Mm-hmm.
And LA had their stretch. They won like 12 out of the last 15. The Kings are going to have a stretch like that because with all these home games. So I'm with you, Jason. It's going to have to be a situation to where the Kings knock off 8 out of their next 12.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And they've got a chance to do it at home. And look, technically, Henry, their record is better at home than it's on the road, but I don't know. We've said it. Like, there's a swagger about them on the road. I really like their attitude on the road, if that's the way I'm looking at it. I don't know. They just feel a little different to me.
Jay, that came together last year to where, we were wondering, wow, why are the Kings playing so well on the road? For some reason, they don't mind going on the road playing, and that's really has been their, if you want to put out their consistent play,
right,
is that right there, being able to win on the road. They've been consistent with that.
Yeah.
So, but with them being at home, you want this team to take the next step. They're good. You want them to be great team. This team right here, they made the playoffs. You want them to make that second round of the playoffs. So they're good at home, but you want them to be dominant at home. They have to take those next steps, Jason, as the basketball team.
Yeah, it's weird because generally I think they're doing it the more difficult way. I mean, it's tough to win on the road, and they've done for 2 years now. They've got some really good road wins, and they have their share of good home wins. But I think more of the disappointment has been in this building. It's a great building. The fans are here. The energy's always great. I don't really have the answer as to why it's happening that way.
If you really want to talk about their road production, if I would grade it, it's definitely a B.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are above average
as
far as playing on the road.
Only Minnesota has more wins than them on the road.
Right. They are a very good basketball team on the road. So, you would think that, okay, the Kings can really do something special if they get it together at home, because you would think that this is the easiest place to start winning.
Yeah. It should be another good crowd tonight as they get another look at the San Antonio Spurs. They've knocked them off a couple of times this year, 5 of the last 6 times they played San Antonio, but they all count. And at the end of the year, you don't want to have a loss to a team like San Antonio, like the Kings have already seen, right? We said earlier, Portland, whether it's Charlotte, Detroit, they've had a few too many of those. We'll talk a little bit more about this matchup coming up, go around the league as well as game night continues. Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbfstockton.com. Henry and I are back with more game night. That's coming up right here on Sacktown Sports.
The Spurs visit Golden One Center tonight to face the Kings.
Gives it up to Fox. Gets into the paint. Reaches with the left hand. Scores at the buzzer. What a finish for the Sacramento Kings.
Kings and Spurs tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings. Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
1 ticket, 2 shows, the Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, travel trailers, pontoon boats, fifth wheel, personal watercraft and ATVs, toy haulers, fishing boats, motorhomes, and more. One massive event, the Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. March 7th through 10th. Find discounts at 2hugeshows.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Back here on game night, Jason Ross and Scott Marsh, the high flyer Henry Turner. Again, we're brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience how the power of family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. So it's kind of been this season of checking off a few boxes early on. Henry, remember the Kings couldn't win the second night of a back-to-back. They ultimately figured out how to do that. Some of the latest trends have been great road wins followed by disappointing home losses. They got to shake that up tonight. That can't be tonight's result. We can't be having a sad postgame show tonight.
You know, Jason, we have to get it going from here on out.
Yep.
I mean, we need a run.
Yeah.
You know, I know we talk about game by game, but no, we need a run of games.
Yeah.
You know, we need 4, 5, 6 runs in this building to get this team where they need to be. I mean, I'm really against this play-in.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I am against the play-in for this team.
Okay, here's an interesting thing I was thinking about today. As not even as the standings, forget the standings right now. As you look, the top 4 in some way, shape, or form are OKC, Minnesota, the Clippers, and Denver. Of those 4, because most likely the Kings are going to be 5, 6, 7, or 8, if it all works out. Which of those 4 would you prefer to play the most?
I'm really not scared of neither one of those teams.
Okay.
No.
But is there a preference or no?
Let me see.
Matchup wise, look, they were 2-1 against the T-Wolves,
Right.
2-1 right now with another to go against the Thunder, 3-1 against Denver. But the only time they were healthy, the Kings got smoked, and then 1-2 against the Clippers with one more to go.
I would rather see the T-Wolves.
Okay, I'm with you on that, especially with today's news about Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, I'd rather see the T-Wolves.
So the odd part about that is they're currently in either the 1 or 2 spot. Now, it could change, but to get them, you got to be a play-in team. But I don't want to mess with that. Like that,
I don't either.
I think you got to get to 6 or 5 if you can. You'd ideally love 4. I think that's a bit of a reach. But if you get to 6 or 5, you're in. And then to your point, Henry, you take your chances. If it's Denver, it's the champs. You got to go there. Well, it's the playoffs. Should be easy.
Hey, you roll with it.
Yeah.
Because that was another question that Kyle hit me. Kyle was like, maybe it's an easier road to go in from the play-in. I'm like, I'm not trying to hear the play-in.
Yeah.
I want this team to legitimately make the playoffs. I'd rather do this, Jason. And this, like I said, this is just my own personal preference. I would rather for this team to legitimately make the playoffs, either in 5th or the 6th spot, right? Because that's where pretty much we're going to be. 5th or the 6th spot, go in the first round, and we lose the first round, then to make the play-in, right?
Yeah.
Get into the playoffs and lose in the first round.
The weird part about just the way the year is going, too, there's a chance the Kings could win, maybe let's say one more game than last year. 49, that could be 7th. And it's really a better year, regular season,
Right.
even with all the weird things. The rest of the West is better. And the way this team, we just described how up and down there's plenty of reason to believe they could have 2 bad days and be out.
Right.
And you won 49 games, and here you are watching technically a lottery team as opposed to a playoff team.
Because I put it to him this way, Jason. I said, you guys talk about, well, it might be an easier road. It might be an easier road. Like you said, if you go to that play-in and you have 2 bad games, it's over with.
Right.
You can have 2 bad games in that 6th spot and go on a roll and make it to the second round.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to lose 4.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, I'm like, no, bro, we need to make the playoffs.
Yeah. And again, still can through the plan, but it's just rolling the dice. And it could be worse. What if you fall to 9 or 10 and it's only 1 game? Like if you have 1 bad day, then it's only 1 and you're out and you wasn't even in your home building.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do not. I don't want to play with that play-in. I love the play-in for, teams that's trying to make it.
Right.
I just don't want our team to be there.
Right. And usually I think of like what the East has, Chicago and Atlanta under 500, just kind of scratching at the bottom of there, but they get a chance. Where here, most likely, if it's the Lakers, Warriors, Kings, Mavs, Suns, you're going to have teams decently above 500 in the 9-10 matchup. And that's just the way the West is this year.
Right. And that's going to be fighting and clawing their way, trying to get back to do something special.
Yeah. All right. So then let's talk about the consistency. Part of the reason, in my opinion, of keeping the roster that they played with last year, for the most part, it's the group, right? There's a tweak here and there, but it's the same starting 5. These guys have played a lot of games together. And the next 2 most important pieces right now are Monk and Lyles. They were all here. So the part of the bring it all back is to improve on last year or clean up some of the mistakes. And I don't have a great answer of this year's inconsistency. What do you see as to why that's happening this far along in the season?
Because our complimentary guys haven't played up to par.
And that could be starters in Barnes and Herter, right?
Yes.
And even Keegan.
And even Keegan.
Yeah.
All 3 of those guys really haven't played up to what they did last year.
Yeah.
So that's tough when you got 3 of your 5 starters playing below what they played last year, and you think you're going to take a step forward. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So what Malik is doing, Malik is Malik, okay? I even think Trey Lyles is playing a little bit under than what he played last year. So it's hard when you got your 2 all-stars that's playing up to their average, but all the other guys aren't. So that's where this team is falling off.
And I felt like, I don't know when this turned, maybe 25, 30 games into the year, maybe even a little more. There was kind of a more of aggressive Harrison Barnes. It's not here every night, but there was times really early. It was like, wow, he's fallen off a cliff. Then they started, now, hey, Harrison's taking 13 shots tonight. He's posting up. Should they do more of that? Should they find Herter more to kind of get those guys going and see if they've got something?
However they do it, Jason, they need those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, the Kings aren't going to be successful if they don't get Harrison Barnes and Kevin Herter back in a groove, because they're too vital for what we do.
Yeah.
They're too vital for what we do. Keegan Murray, for me, he's a sophomore player. He's playing great.
Yeah.
Even though he's up and down, he's
But
playing
his defense
great.
is there right now.
Defense is solid. He's playing great. Your other two veterans, you need those guys to play at their average.
Yeah.
That's all you're asking. You're not asking them to do over. If you can just match what you did last year, we're good.
Yeah. And last night we saw this team really rely on their three biggest weapons, but other guys played well. But that was Sabonis with a triple-double. Malik, 28 off the bench, and then De'Aaron matched his career high with 44. And he was not afraid to go at Anthony Davis, at Jackson Hayes, at whoever they put in the middle. He had an intention to his game last night.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he was like, hey, I'm going. I'm rolling. You know what? My jumper is feeling good. Getting to the basket is feeling good. I got my bounce back. I'm taking whatever you give me, and I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah. Kings going through their warm-ups. Well, the only one going through their warm-ups, Doug Christie's getting his buckets in.
I was about to say, that's Dougie down there knocking down shots over and over.
I know. I was like, someone's hot. And I looked up, it was Doug.
I was about to say, we ain't seen the Kings shoot that well from the free throw line in a minute.
We're working on about 6 or 7 in a row, aren't we?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We ain't seen the Kings shoot that well in a long time.
And none of them have hit the rim.
No.
All right. Let's technical fouls. Can we bring out Doug Christie?
I'm trying to tell you, you can tell Dougie still plays.
Yeah, exactly. Just coaching. You get, he handle the ball still. You move around. He's shooting high arcing free throws. And now he'll work with Sabonis.
And to keep it real, he didn't shoot that well as a kid.
Exactly. Maybe it's no pressure now. I was like, hey, I'm
Right.
out here having fun. He does the one-on-one work with Domantas Sabonis, and that stat stayed true last night, Henry. 9-0 now for Sabonis against AD. I don't know why. AD is a terrific player. But Sabonis played bully ball with him, and AD it was either in foul trouble or couldn't handle it.
Yo, he went into a shell, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, you didn't even know AD was on the floor.
Right.
And I like that. I'm like, Sabonis, if you can have that type of energy with that dude, keep it going.
Yeah.
Because we got to see them again.
Yep.
And we need every game we can get. And even if it comes down to a tie or whatever, you need to have that dude in your pocket.
Yeah, and I know Wembanyama won't play tonight, but I remember a couple weeks ago when Victor was here for the first time, Sabonis, I was really marveled at his game. He bullied him, which we expected, but I thought there could still be some bullying, and the recovery might be there from Wembanyama because of that reach. But Sabonis got him so low under the basket so many times and would twist and turn and was really creative with him. I thought Sabonis had an awesome game last time.
And let me tell you, Webby wanted none of that.
Yeah.
He wanted none of the smoke. Sabonis is good at using his body, using his shoulders, using his lower body to get his opponent off balance. And I want to tell you, the first 2-3 times he hit Webby in the chest with his shoulders, Webby didn't want none of that.
Yeah.
He was like, whoa, wait a minute. This is a grown man game. He said, you playing basketball. I don't want no parts of that.
Yeah. And so tonight, what'll be different, obviously, without Victor Wembanyama, maybe it's Sohan, maybe it's a guy like, obviously, Zach Collins will get some run. So it's a different style. Maybe the Spurs will go into some zone tonight. Who knows?
Maybe. That's what you do, Jason, when you're really trying to hide something or, compensate for, you're not having a very good defensive squad out there. You go into those gimmicky defenses. But I'll tell you what, if I'm Sabonis, this is what I've done through my whole career. If I play against a San Antonio and Wemby is the guy, right? And he's not on the floor that night, they got to bring somebody else in off the bench to guard me. Oh, I'm cooking him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm cooking
From the get-go?
From the get-go.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can take a player's heart that way. A guy that's coming in and saying, okay, you know what? I'm not a starter, but I get a chance to start. Yeah, he's hyped. He wants to start. But if you go in there and you just straight cook him out the gate, some guys go, you know what? I can't do nothing with him. He's a starter.
Yeah, and, get that guy in foul trouble, too, or lose the confidence. They don't have a bunch of bigs and depth tonight without Wembanyama, and I think that's the spot they're going to miss the most, his defensive presence. Just shot blocking, shot changing, anchoring the paint. He's good offensively, but his defensive gifts right now, he's way ahead on defense.
For sure. San Antonio is going to miss that big time, but then you got to worry about the type of, culture that Pop has built.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to come off that bench and try to give you something extra.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you're going to have to worry about that guy. That's why I said, if I'm Sabonis, whoever it is guarding me, I'm like, y'all bring this ball into me early and often.
Yeah, and then you're going to see a three-point barrage, hopefully for them. Vassell, Keldon Johnson, a lot of different guys. Champagny. We'll see what kind of connections they could do against the Kings. One more thing about last night's game. Want to talk about the points in the paint brought to you by RT Painting. your reliable and trusted partner in the Sacramento market since 1998. 70-plus points. I think it was 76 points in the paint last night by the Sacramento Kings, and that was a huge difference maker. When you live in there, your shooting percentage goes up, and kind of back to taking the will away from the Lakers. They did that.
Jason, you know I had a smile on my face because I talk about it all the time. Do not elect to just stand outside and shoot threes. Get down into the teeth of the defense, get some high percentage shots, get to the basket. You can always throw it out from three, but if you start dominating in the paint, that's going to open up the three-point even more.
And here's what's great to add on to that. De'Aaron Fox had 32 points of that in the paint last night. That's tied for the fifth most points in a game in the paint this season. Fox at 6'3". Here's the others. The Joker, 6'11". Şengün, 6'11". Giannis, 6'11", and Embiid, 7 foot. Fox still got work done. 32 points in the paint. It can be done.
Yes, get downhill, get to the rim. And then, another thing, if you continue to do that, Jason, then all of a sudden you might get a call or two from the referee. Mm-hmm. I don't know about our guys.
No, not against the Lakers.
But if you're a regular team, you could go utilize that free throw line.
Yeah.
But that's what you want to do. You want to establish that as a player because that 3-point line is going to be there. That's the easiest shot in the game nowadays, to come down and just stop and shoot threes. But if you can get down into the teeth, create some contact, go to the free throw line, now you got a well-rounded game.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to go around the NBA, talk about some of these more news and notes. We told you about the injury to Karl Anthony Towns. There's been a few more injuries around the league. Ben Simmons is going to be shut down as well for the Nets. We'll update you on what's going on tonight in the NBA as game night continues right here on Sacktown Sports.
The Spurs visit Golden One Center tonight to face the Kings.
Gives it up to Fox, gets into the paint, reaches with the left hand, scores at the buzzer. What a finish for the Sacramento Kings.
Kings and Spurs tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. It'll be a chilly night. By early morning, temperatures will be down around 40. We'll have bright sunshine and light winds on Friday with highs in the mid to upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Ever since we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my hiding spots.
Ha! Found you.
How?
That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Now through March 21st, get started with 200 megabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless bill and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacktown Sports.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Back here on game night, Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh, the high flyer Henry Turner here. We are going to go till the bottom of the hour at 6:30. Then we're back for Kings Live pregame. We'll be joined by the G-Man, Gary Gerald, as we close in on Kings and Spurs tonight. Game one of a 6-game homestand that really feels critical for the Sacramento Kings. Trying to get to 10 games above 500. That's been their high point. And that's kind of to your point, Henry. They don't have to go 6-0 in this homestand, but if you knock off a 4-2, 5-1,
that's great.
Now all of a sudden, you're 12, 13 games above 500. You're putting pressure on Phoenix, everybody else, in New Orleans. And that's and hopefully then you're looking at that, hey, all of a sudden the Kings have won 7 of 8, that kind of thing. That's what they need to do.
And then you're in a situation, Jason, to where you're not scoreboard watching.
Yeah.
How about what did Dallas do? What did Phoenix do?
Right.
What did LA do? How did the Warriors play? That's the worst thing. I really want this team to really be able to take control of their own destiny.
Yeah, and ideally, look, we want this team to make the postseason. There could be a play-in situation, and you could still be a playoff team after that. It's a little bit riskier, but I would like them to be, first and foremost, healthy. Second most, feeling about as good as you possibly can about your game, because there is something about that when you're going into the postseason. Some teams, oh, man, they've lost 8 of their last 10, and it just is the start of something wrong. But you could get a team that's hot late and kind of in that playoff mode that keeps that going.
Man, that's how you do something special, Jason. When you're one of those teams that's, trying to be a Cinderella squad, you get hot late, you're playing good basketball, and you're feeling good about yourself, and everybody's confident. That's when you go and knock somebody out.
Yeah.
That's when the number 6 seed knock off that number 1,
right,
or the number 5 seed knock off that number 2. That's where you want the Kings to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And still about 21 games to decide all of that. We'll tell you we're brought to you by Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. There'll be some games tonight that could help the Kings. The most important one is right here in this building as they host the San Antonio Spurs. That news we said earlier, I want to get your thoughts on that Karl Anthony Towns injury. It's a little bit vague. There was 2 different reports earlier about a torn meniscus and then others saying there's a meniscus injury that we don't know how long he'll miss. So without knowing the length of time that he's out, they played a lot without him last year. What do you think about them if they do have to spend some time without Karl Anthony Towns?
That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
That's going to shake up a lot of things, Jason, because really that team is not going to be a number 1 team without Karl Anthony Towns. I can tell you that now. They're not going to be in that number 1 spot. So at the end of the day, are they going to try to tread water? Yes, but it's not going to be treading water to stay in first.
Yeah, and that's where, again, Denver, the Clippers, OKC, all of them are right on their heels. That's that first tier. That second tier is really now the rest of the 10, so 5 through 10. And how about the other games tonight, or the Timberwolves, I should say, are in action right now, Henry. It's 89-89, about 9 minutes to go in the fourth. They're playing the Pacers. So, yeah, I'm with you that every game they play without Towns, they're just trying to get as many wins as they can.
You know what? They're trying to make a mad dash to the end.
Yeah.
And really, how much are they going to be able to do? Just say when the playoffs start. If Karl Anthony Towns isn't back, what is that team going to look like?
Yeah, so let's do that. Let's take the worst case scenario for them, and he's not available.
Cool.
They're the number 1 defense. There'll be some elements that might help them, but other times you go, man, like the matchup with the Kings. I think back to the overtime game, last Friday or last weekend? Yeah, it was Friday, I think. And you said when Sabonis fouled out, I remember in the studio, you're like, I don't think this is going to be too bad. They brought in Lyles, and there became Lyles was now, Towns was having to run around, chase him. And it worked better almost for the Kings. Now, Towns is a great player, but maybe some teams, the matchup with Towns is more difficult for those guys.
You know what? It changes how they play.
Yeah.
That's why I said when Lyles came in, now Karl Anthony Towns really have to stretch out to that 3-point line, right? And now if you don't have that guy there, he's out. Now all you have is Rudy Gobert.
Right.
And let's say if you're playing a team to where if you got to stretch Rudy out there, they have nothing at the rim.
Yeah.
They have nothing at the rim. And that's not a Minnesota team right there.
Right. And so, again, that's about 9 minutes to go in that one in the fourth quarter. And Indiana has a 2-point lead, 92-90. Other games that affect the top 10 tonight as we continue to go around the league. The Mavericks are at home taking on the Miami Heat. This one's kind of gone back and forth. They're in the third quarter. Mavericks lead 74-71. They're a team currently that's lost 3 in a row. Dallas needs to end that tonight for their own sake.
Yeah, if they want to still be in the hunt, still be in the talk, Dallas got to start winning some games. they're kind of like us. I mean, we're not there yet. You know, Dallas lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're in a situation to where you can't have no more oopsies. If you're trying to make that run, you're going to have to be strong and come play some better basketball.
And Dallas also knows this is a lot of the same group last year, Henry. Once they added Kyrie Irving, they went from 5th to out of the top 10. Like, they completely missed. So they don't want to go through that same kind of late season collapse like they did a year ago.
Right. I mean, just straight imploded.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they don't want that. They feel that they're a much better team. They're going to have to start winning some basketball games.
All right, a team that's just ahead of the Kings are the Phoenix Suns. They host the Toronto Raptors tonight. Raptors going to be without Scotty Barnes. But Devin Booker's been hurt. That's going to be important. And that's the thing, that Beal, Booker, Durant trio really hasn't played enough this year. They've had a good season, but not a great season.
No, because how many games have all those guys played together?
Not enough,
I
that's
mean,
for sure.
Might be 20 at the most.
Oh, yeah, I think it's less, but yeah.
You know, so the big three ain't really worked for them because they haven't had the big three at their disposal. So it might be a situation for them to where this year might not be championship or bust. You might be talking about, okay, let us get one more year with all these guys healthy and see what it does.
All right, another team that's in the mix of the top 10, the Golden State Warriors. They've been playing better lately. They had the weird game where they got just absolutely annihilated in Boston, but came home last night, held the Bucks to 9 points, and won that game pretty comfortably. They host the Bulls tonight. So second night of a back-to-back, both those at home, and Chicago's kind of on their West Coast trip right now.
Right, and Chicago been balling.
Yeah.
Since we jump-started them.
Yeah, won in Utah last night.
Yeah, they got us. They went to Utah and won. Now they're going down to Golden State. So, yeah, you know, it's going to be one of those games to where Golden State, they're in the exact same boat. They have to win. Don't care who they're playing, Jason. If they want to keep their hopes alive, they got to win basketball games.
And then the other game to talk about tonight might be a preview of the NBA Finals. Denver at home for the Boston Celtics. You got the best team in the NBA and then the defending champs in Denver. That's good. That's going to be a good game.
You know what? That's pay TV right there.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very good game because Denver's a solid team. They are still the champions, and if they're healthy, they have a very good roster. They have a very good basketball team. But I still think Boston is the best team in the league.
Yeah.
You know, the way they played and the way they've dominated over their schedule, they are the number one team in the league.
Right now, would you pick them to win it all?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this would not surprise me at all if this is a finals preview.
No, if they were ever at a point to where they were able to win, this is their year.
Yeah. And if it's not, I mean, they don't need to break it up, but it's like, man, how many times until they break through? Because they've been good for a couple of years now. They've been in the finals. They've been pushing towards the finals. It's a really good team.
You know where they're at, Jason? They're in this situation because if you break it up, right, who are you going to get this better?
Yeah, they got to keep pushing at it, right?
Say, for example, if you're disgruntled with Jaylen Brown, well, you just gave him that huge contract, and you're not going to get too many other guys that's better than Jaylen Brown.
Right.
Or JT, you know, or Al Horford for what he does on that team. So, you know, with Porzingis, how are you going to find a number 4 that's better than Porzingis?
Yeah.
You're not.
And they've already kind of tweaked it, right? I mean, Marcus Smart meant so much to that team, and that tweak helped get him Porzingis. It's like, you know, ultimately you go for those risks. They got Holiday. Like, they're going for it.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get better than Holiday. I'm sorry.
Right.
You're just not. So unless you go out and get Dame,
right.
You're not going to get better than Holiday. So, you know, they're in a situation to where even if they fall short, you still have to run that back.
Yeah.
You got to spin the block with those boys.
Yeah. And then we mentioned earlier briefly, but the other news around the NBA, look, he's been a little bit of a kind of a punching bag at times because of the way his career has gone. But I feel for Ben Simmons, a guy that just can't get healthy. Henry, looks like the Nets are going to shut him down. And this was a number 1 pick that was playing like one. It was a guy that earned that big contract. He played really well. And then that end in Philly, and he just can't get on the floor. And I hope it isn't a career that we go, what if for him, because it's starting to go that way.
I think it's right there right now, Jason.
Yeah.
What if? I mean, what's going on with Ben now?
It's another, I think it was a part of a back injury here, I think. And I just like, they're shutting him down. And you just go, man, you want him to get right, but will he get right?
And the big question with Ben is, Jason, okay, his body has been, you know, has it been stellar? He's been having, you know, back issues and knee issues and, you know, ankle issues. But what about the most glaring ones? about, him not wanting to be, going to the free throw line and all the mental things that he has going. For me, Ben Simmons has too many questions of his overall game and mental health to say, okay, he's going to be a staple of what we do.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for me to buy in for that.
The official report earlier today from those in the know, the Nets shut him down for the remainder of the season. He's going to consult with specialists and explore treatment options for the nerve impingement in his lower back. When you start messing with backs, that has ruined careers before.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
And when your back go out, Jason, I've had mine go out. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
My back, my neck, my back, and my neck. Yeah.
My neck and my back.
All right, we'll break here. Want to tell you that more than 100 youth from our community need a mentor, and you can help. Big Brothers Big Sisters one-to-one mentoring program matches adult volunteers and children based on personal interests, life experiences, and geographic proximity. Now, this program serves children ages 7 through 18 who are being raised by single parents, grandparents, or foster parents in Sacramento, Yolo, and South Placer counties. Call 916-646-9300 or visit bbbs-sac.org to learn about being a volunteer mentor. For just a few hours a month, you can impact the life of a child. So stand with us, become a big brother or big sister. All right, break time for us. Back with more. Final segment of Game Night. Henry and I will look at this one and get some keys to the game against the Spurs. That's coming up here on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app. Keep it here to Sacktown Sports for the Sacramento Kings push toward the postseason.
Get analysis from our local shows, breakdowns from our Kings insiders, and all the thrilling moments from the G-Man.
Keegan Murray scrambles to save it. He gives it now to Barnes. 1 on the clock. Desperate 3 on the way. He scores the triple. Game tied at 121 apiece. 17 for Barnes.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, a.k.a. the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, post-nasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Game night continues. Jason Ross, the High Flyer, Henry Turner. You get to get comfortable here at G1C for a little bit, Henry. It's been a while to have a stretch of games at home like this.
Yeah. They bring out my futon so I can stretch my legs out. I'm ready to get comfortable.
Where are you going to put that?
Probably like right over there.
Right down below us?
Yeah.
Just close to where we broadcast from?
Yeah, stretch all the way out, though.
Yeah. The rows, you go, like, lay it down that way or across?
Across.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where do they do those sleepovers when they have that here?
I have no idea. I would like to see.
Yeah. Oh, it's in the suites. All right, thank you, Kyle.
Sweet.
Yeah, sweet. I'm looking up there. Yeah, I've never actually I don't think I've ever been in the suites. Maybe on the original tour. But have you been up there?
Yes.
Yeah.
But do they pull out beds or?
I don't know.
I'm like, well,
bring your own sleeping bag?
Right. Do you have your own sleeping bag?
Yeah.
How does that go?
It's a big house to sleep in.
Huge.
Yeah. Plenty of bathrooms.
No doubt.
Yeah. Do they leave the food up and running?
I'm trying to tell you, do you get all the drinks you want?
Yeah. Then there's going to be squatters' rights. People are going to stay too long. It's like, hey, it's a one-night deal.
Hey, you don't have to go home.
You just got to get up out of here. All right, we got Kings and Spurs tonight. So, look, I think all the warning signs are out there, and it doesn't mean because it's happened before it'll happen again. But you also be well aware of that, Henry. Like, look, I don't think the Kings just can't take anybody lightly. They've got to look at these all as one-game opportunities, and this is a good one. You're at home. The Spurs are missing a key player. This is a game you need to feel like you need to take control of.
Jason, they're going to have to get themselves in gear.
Yeah.
Because they need to make a haul. Not just one. You have to make a long haul. You're going to have to put some games together. You're going to have to start being dominant on this floor. All we're saying right now is that it starts with this team.
Yeah.
It starts here. It starts now. And, okay, they don't have their main guy. It's supposed to be, quote, unquote, maybe a little bit easier, but I don't care. Get the job done and keep it rolling because we need all these home games coming up.
Yeah, and to me, this is kind of one of those games where it's okay if De'Aaron comes out and is a little thirsty and aggressive. Establish something, De'Aaron, or DeMontis, to your point, without Wembanyama in there. You don't need to wait for Malik or for maybe a inexperienced guy. Like, this is when your veteran stars need to go, all right, we're not messing around tonight. Let's get a comfortable lead. And if I'm on the bench to close this game, that's a good thing.
And you know what, Jason? I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that needs or could. I'm saying need and could come from your star players. They don't have to come from Mike Brown.
Right.
It could be De'Aaron saying, hey, Sabonis, he ain't there. We're coming to you, bro, early and often. Get us a lead. First, and tell everybody to start in five. Yeah. You know, we run the offense, but we're going into the big fella. He's going to get us a lead.
Yeah, let's go first 5 possessions. Look, I mean, Sabonis doesn't overshoot, and if it's working, he's going to go. And if it's not, if there's a double team, you know he's going to find somebody open.
There it is. But first 5 is going into you, and you be aggressive.
Yeah, and then
be aggressive.
Yeah, see what they do. Are they coming out on the zone? Are they double teaming him? There's going to be some things. And then on the other side, look, the Spurs, their chances here, Henry, are going to be a night like Keldon Johnson can have a big night. Devin Vassell scored 32 the last time here. Collins will likely start. He's going to get an opportunity to do some things. I mean, there's going to be some guys that could score for the Spurs.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, they're going to have to play defense. But, Jason, that's one thing that Mike Brown has been begging this team to do is to police themselves.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's something good or whether it's something bad, but still, police yourself. Sabonis, we're coming to you, bro, and we're coming hard. We're coming heavy. Get us rolling.
Yeah, the best teams really do that, police themselves.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, and they recognize the mismatch.
Right.
You know, the guard can walk out there and say, okay, you know what? I mean, and that's basically what we did.
Right.
You know, when I played, it was like, okay, Mitch. Well, basically, it was Mitch night every night.
Yeah.
Because he was our guy. But let's say, you know, if Walt Williams had a mismatch, Walt, we coming to you. We're going to run all 30 series because Walt played the 3 and the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever position had that mismatch, that was the series of plays that we ran plays.
Yeah.
That was the series of plays we were going to run. If it was the 4 at the mismatch, we're running all 40 series for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because our 4-man got a mismatch and you get a chance to exploit it.
KYP, right?
Know your personnel, baby. It's easy.
Who was that was just here recently that did really good with that? It was Miami.
Yeah.
Miami saw, okay, look, we got Herter down low. We got Monk down low. We got Fox down low. Let's post Jaime Jaquez. Let's post Kevin Love. Like they weren't going to beat the Kings really around the perimeter. They knew their advantages were to post up some of the smaller guys.
You know what? You keep running the same offense.
Yeah.
You run your same offense until that guy gets that matchup, and that's where you go.
Yeah. So I hope Fox sets a good tone. He's had a couple of really good games against San Antonio this year. Look, De'Aaron's had a great season. There's been some ups and downs, but he's coming off a career-high 44. I love his post-game talk where he said, yeah, I knew I had 44. I just can't surpass that number. Keegan still has the bragging rights on the team for a season best and a career high from anybody on this roster. He's gone for 47. I like that. Fox is going to push that. He's going to try to get there some night.
Can you imagine, Jason, the guy who says nothing has all the bragging rights.
I know, and it probably kills Malik and De'Aaron, doesn't it?
Exactly, because you know when they talk about it, all Keegan going to do is turn around and say, me.
47.
Me.
Yeah, I did it, not you.
Wait. Who has the number one? Me.
I don't even know if Malik was ever officially asked about what he said, what Keegan said on that great dunk in the end of the Denver game. Kings got crushed. But Keegan, 1, looked at the Denver bench, 2, went back to his bench ultimately and said something that completely broke Malik. I really love their relationship with him and how they tease him and how he gives it back in his own way.
I love it too, man, because, Keegan Murray is the type of guy to where, you don't see too much expression. He isn't the most vocal guy on the board, but he is one of the youngest guys. Yeah. And for the veterans to haze him like that, but haze him with love, I love that too, man.
Yeah, I know that was like your favorite part. Look, I mean, I know you love the game and you had the gifts to do it, but that stuff with the fellas, whatever it might be, has had to be the best times in your life.
Oh man, I mean, Jason, it was, like I said, even when we played teams who was undermanned, like the San Antonio Spurs, and we knew it was a couple of starting guys out, and new guys came in. We would be in the locker room, and be like, "Don't let it be you."
Right.
And like, "Don't let it be you." No, don't let it be you to have that new guy give you 30.
Yeah.
Don't let it be. And if it is you, we're gonna let you have it.
Yeah. And then that, or if you do something weird or something funny, something odd in a game, like the last night, the only basket Herter scored, it was really weird. I don't know if his legs didn't work.
Oh yeah,
but he had that fast break, and I'm sure
out.
everybody's thinking dunk, and then he jumped like an inch off the ground. At least he made it, but I bet the guys had some fun with that.
Some fun with that. I remember when Shaq came into the league, and that was our thing too. Don't be under that rim when Shaq get a rebound.
Exactly.
Don't let it be you.
Yeah. All right. So in our final minute, then. How does this happen today for the Kings? What are ultimately your keys then?
Jay, they got to come out and take care of business, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish that we could see that exact same team that played the last 3 quarters against the LA Lakers, because I thought that was the best team we've seen in a long time. The way they pressured, the way they attacked the rim, the way they got out in transition. I love the way they played. If they can come out and just bring some sort of that type of play, I'm with the Kings all the way.
We'll see what happens tonight. We will have it coming your way here in a moment. The G-Man will join us for the pregame. Henry and I are back for that as well. We appreciate all of you listening. This is Game Night, and we're back with Kings Live pregame coming up right here on Sacktown Sports.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service